But we'll see what Kanna is going to bring to the matchup. The Vayne is hovered, but that is obviously Busio. The problem is, it's also a counter pick to the
There you go, and that's what I was going to say. He's brought it out in the past, and he has looked spectacular on it. And he's loved in the LEC being able to bring this out as a counter. Pretty small fan base, so I think he'll probably even out on that one. Yeah.
I have a feeling you might win this.
Yeah, I heard it's got the blue fence, isn't it? You know, not the blue. Okay, Kanna is in a lot of trouble here towards the top side. First blood for the Lord Morgan, as the Gnar will take down the Vayne in the counter matchup. All right, they're going to replace the Yordles, moving Morgan down towards that bottom side, as we can see, as now you've got the Cyclone coming on through. CoreJJ will be able to crash over the wall, but Busio gets in there and takes down the Rel. Wrong place, wrong time. TL, with their control of the waves, have been able to get to a slight gold advantage, and Jose is on these grubs, able to take them down as well. And Yon's on Tristana, right? Like, you can really demolish these turrets very, very quickly. Same to be said for Ziggs. But I think the sieging capabilities of both of these comps is pretty scary.
Yeah, I mean, Callisto just going to be able to clear out the wave. And I do like the way Jose Diodo's kind of changing up.
He does have his ult back.
Yeah, only level 5 for Busio, as there's a rocket jump in. Flashes away immediately. And the Hextech sweep does come on down. Yon does have Buster Shot, gets rid of the Vayne, and there's the barrier, but it's not going to be enough. Yike able to lock down that kill. CoreJJ a little bit late. The paranoia comes in though as Morgan gets in. The Mega Gnar is a little late as he's looking for more. Busio was the guaranteed kill, but he does not actually go for it. Went for the big one, and that's going to let them all live apart from Busio, who will be caught by the very edge of the shockwave.
That could have gone
See how it all does shake out as Quid trying to get some vision back here. Putting some wards into this brush, but full information is there as Yon's just dead. Kalist gonna pick up a solo kill in the bottom lane.
This is the first time Kalist. Oh, hang on.
Yeah, Quid gonna have to run away here.
For the comp that they have, since they want to play the map so spread here with all these different pressure points, and they can just overload, delete this tower with another satchel charge.
Yep,
and
there it
continue
is.
The snowball.
Beautifully done. So immediately moving up there, Tristana to start getting strong for that late game consistent damage.
And it's so scary too because Busio also had a pretty good start. So we're going to see the combo, the Camille ult, and the safety of their flash for this fight.
Well, Jose is just going to be using that spell shield, but the Cyclone comes down immediately. There's a Hextech ultimatum, but maybe Busio has gone too far. As CoreJJ will help lock him down. That is Morgan going to get thrown away as Jose goes in. It's a big Gnar from Morgan as well. Kalist getting taken down solo, but the Dustbringer is not enough. Morgan's dead. Yeah, he was at full health. And now it's Casey's turn to start moving forward. Of all time on one of the teams in this game. Okay, we do have the Rift Herald now getting taken down very, very low as Jose trying to make Busio scared, but Busio not a very scared man, as they will be able to take down the started up already. Not a lot of vision available for TL.
Morgan also doesn't have TP. He used it to get to the Rift Herald play, so KC, realizing that it was Morgan who went topside, are going to be the ones to take it, but now might be Kanna in trouble.
Yeah.
Paranoia going to come in immediately, and now Jose should be able to make this a very scared Vayne, and Morgan just going to pick that one up with a cheeky auto attack after Jose did all the work.
Yeah, nice move here from TL. They make that like the call pretty early. Hey, we're not going to
ult as well, so Kanna stays alive. That's the immediate go button on the Baron, and Team Liquid trying to see if they can re-enter here.
Yeah. And it's only on CoreJJ and Morgan for now, as Morgan is going to get turned on. Great Narbar position, but I don't know whether it's going to be enough, as he's already taken down very, very low. He tries to crush away, flashes out as that Cyclone tries to hold him into position, and Yon now moving forward. Casey have backed away from the Baron, though, and they're just going to now realm warp themselves into the mid lane for no... What? Why did we do this? As now Quid is going to be able to help lock them down. That's a kill over to Yon, and that felt like a mistake.
That was certainly a mistake, Atlas. Right into the waiting arms of CoreJJ. They wanted to get over to the wave to defend mid lane, but Core just lets him have it.
Yeah, who saw Team
That win enter from top.
Yeah, I feel like KC's control of the Drakes so far this game, though, have been pretty fantastic as Busio goes in. I don't know about that one, he's just dead. Wasn't able to click any buttons onto anyone and just goes down, and now KC just have to scatter. They'll have to give up this dragon, and can TL take even more?
They have to give up so much control as well. It means that there's already kind of that wave that's been pushed in mid. That Team Liquid
threat. Busio, though, back on the table. Support death timers are pretty short.
The Rel.
Well, Core is going to get in there with the Magnus Storm. They look to turn this fight around. Busio going to be the first target. Mega Inferno Bomb comes in, though. The Cyclone's fantastic as they do manage to get a kill back, but Yon is just untouched. Yehu taking so much damage, and now the resets start to come in. Yon really feeling like he's hit his stride in this game, and TL, they didn't want the Baron. They just wanted to kill them all.
Kill them all, and then off vision.
A little bit of a cheeky one, but they do have a lot of control of this game for now. And this Baron should just go over to them. Yike is going to poke his head in, but Jan, we mentioned the Buster Shot. He does have it, uses it, and Yike going to have to just try and get himself out of there. Now the Nocturne ult does come on through. There's the Shockwave, but it's avoided by Busio just beautifully as they've taken down the Trist already. Quid now in a lot of trouble, but he does manage to at least take out Busio, but Core JJ going to be required to stop Quid from going down, and the Baron was not secured. And KC are just going to say thanks for the leash.
KC find the moment to bring it back with the Realm Warp. That actually works out perfectly.
Yeah, Jan took so much damage from the Baron. Jan got so low for the Baron.
Oh, wait a sec.
All right, looking for an angle here is once again Core JJ finding an angle. That is a lot of damage as Yike's in a lot of trouble, gets the Cyclone down, and Kanna is trying to get these autos in. Yehu is a monster, but it's a massive ulti from Morgan into the wall. Yehu gets Baron involved, and he's going to go down to the Baron shot as Kanna just gets out of there. Spawns losing
Legends. We're back at the Baron, guys.
We're doing it again. It's KC have a cheeky ward over the wall, but they don't have any players. So this Baron is finally going to be secured by TL. I'm pretty sure Baron actually last hitted a triple kill in that last fight. Very impressive play out of the Purple Worm. We're going to need that that highlight reel, I think, in the package towards the end of the day, as we now have Morgan going in, looking for an angle, as that was not the option that Kaliss was looking for, but that is quite a decent stopwatch. Still, it's just not going to do anything. He's going to go down. That's going to be an inner turret, and this is exactly what you don't want, is to have your main form of wave clear dead when the Baron is knocking at your front door.
I mean, that tower did nothing to Morgan. Actually was doing negative damage to him. So yeah, good tower dive from him. And
we've got another angle here as Jose Diodo just going to give them the thumbs up in multiple different ways. TL now just going to look to end this game. First Nexus turret is now taking damage. Jose with Paranoia available. Yike is in a lot of trouble. There it is. He's going to follow him to the fountain. And the Nexus turrets will be falling. Decent amount of AoE, but Yehu goes golden. They need him to actually do damage. But the Nexus is now being focused. TL looking for game one in this EU versus NA battle to bring them one game up in the series. They're going to grab some kills first, and that is going to be that 1-0 for Team Liquid.
At least you do have that lockdown.
Nengmyeon is like
cold
noodles. Okay, that's Yasuo.
So I was going to say, yeah, when they banned the Yone, you're like, oh, let's take away more AD options from Quid because they're running the Mel bottom.
They didn't know he had a brother. Side of the map as well. Double buffs here for Jose. As the ward does go down, Flag and Drag is good damage onto the Lee Sin so far, but Quid gets the inside track. There's the exhaust onto this Jarvan. The wind wall, fantastic to block everything that Yehu wants to do. Yike going to go down. That's first blood over to Quid as Kanna's looking to move his way in. The tiny wall is going to work out, but there's the Sonic Wave out of Jose. And now Quid is trying to get back to Morgan, who gets the knock up, but down goes the mid laner. And now Jose comes over to make this a one fight for TL.
Huge skirmish here from Team Liquid. They know they have the extra the objective. They know Jose and Quid have got this under control. And I mean, Lee Sin is good into Jarvan. It's just that I think the Jarvan pick was just for comp all.
Yeah.
And so in the little skirmish though, you don't get to use, you know, your ultimates and your synergies for your comp or anything. And Jose really coming up big there.
And it also means he's accelerated when it comes towards levels, right? Level 6 now for himself. He can try and look
really
for
nice X-Flash here as they're looking for a potential all-in, but Core JJ taking a lot of damage. Busio is burning. Core knows that he's dead. The flash away is perfect, though. Busio keeps himself alive. We'll be able to get the first grub at least. We'll see whether all three will go over to KC.
Yeah, I mean, KC, the Kalista walks all the way over there, so Jan is getting alone time on the bottom tower, and like this is an Ezreal without teleports, an exhaust Ezreal, so he's going to have to walk all the way back down. They do, you know, get the grubs for their investment, or at least two of them.
Yeah, Jose just going to be able to take this one down. Resonating strike.
You have no business going over there. That's why I'm so focused on jungle.
And it's like the best dueling item to pick up first.
Pretty impressive. Like once Quid gets a couple of items, it's going to be really difficult to keep him in check because Busio.
Yeah, going to get jumped on here by Jose Diodo. There is Core JJ from the sky, and where did Busio go?
He thought he was the one hiding here on the wall. He thought he was, you know, the one laying the trap.
Yeah, well, he was definitely hiding, but then they found him.
Yeah.
All right.
Pantheon ultimate right over the top there instantly.
Beautifully played by Core JJ, though. He has been phenomenal this tournament and did not hesitate for 1 second on that man drop. Okay, kind of looking for some harpoons, but does just get himself back over, and Jose's going to follow him. There is the ram coming through from Morgan as well. They are on the equalizer, but there's the knock-up, and down goes the rumble. And TL, they must have been listening to the broadcast, because we said they needed to keep going fast. Yike comes in to try and save the play, as the encore is extended by Yike, and they should be able to get Morgan for it. Really nicely done to get one back for KC.
Thank God we did, because that was about to be Team Liquid.
4 seconds away from his ult. 3, 2.
Q is going to miss as he looks for the safeguard. There's a mini stun, gets the knock up, so they pull the bird into the sky, take him down to the egg. The rest of KC trying to get over here. There's the double knock up from Quid, and Quid should be going down, but they get the bird first, as Quid is then going to be executed. Busio over the wall, and I think it's just a 1-for-1. Yeah, and you mentioned Core JJ's ulti. Well, he is now going to be over a wall, as Yahoo over to the side, not going to get picked up by that tornado, as now Core realizing that he's in a lot of trouble, has to try and commit to this one. It is Rift Herald secured, and they'll trade that for their Pantheon, as Morgan a little bit late to this party, but sometimes it's better late than never. Although, maybe not this time. As TL just trying to get back towards their mid lane, as Morgan just says, get out of the way, wall. And he is going to be able to at least headbutt that one down. Now the Ram's coming in, and maybe late is actually better than never, as they're in the Cataclysm, but Yike is no longer there. He's been taken out first, as Jose just trying to safeguard around the fight. Yahoo getting whatever he can done, as Cannon with the Flame Spitter. Quid kept alive by the safeguard. Why are they allowed to get out of this one? Quid will be taken out, as Jose, I mean, he's so much money if they can get that kill, but they're unable to do so. But still KC getting some big kills.
Do this quite fast, and maybe they do.
I mean, Jose is going to be able to put down the Rift Herald to try and help out. Could be a bit of a Battle Herald situation here as they get the knock-up onto Yahoo. He's over his own wall, and it's actually not working out for him. And now the Rift Herald is going to invade the Dragon Pit. Yike has to get out of there. True Shot Barrage is not going to do anything at all. That's his teammate, as now Yahoo tries to get out, gets stabbed by Core JJ, and that is going to be Soul Point over to TL.
Oh, the party continues, Atlas.
This series is weird, boys. I don't know what to do.
You're right about the timing on the contest, though. Exactly. They get back, and they put down. Rift Herald gets used so that they can go for this play, combo onto the Anivia, and then the DPS wasn't there on Dragon, so they're allowed to continue, drive the Herald in, and Team Liquid retake control immediately.
Like a very different form from KC that we saw domestically. Like, team fights were their bread and butter, as Yike now.
Yeah, Quid in a little bit of trouble in the side lane, but now Core is coming from the sky yet again. He does get charmed up, and now Jose making his way in. It's Canna that turns up, though. There's the ulti from Quid, gets out of the equalizer and takes down Yike. These shields are working out so beautifully, but they take out the Yasuo in immediate trade, and then Core JJ taxis his way to Yahoo and keeps himself alive. What the hell? Core's playing the best series of his life.
So is Jose, baby. I mean, honestly, nah, it's just a regular Lee Sin game from our boy.
Yeah, exactly right. He's going to find Busio here. And Core JJ won Worlds in 2017. That was a pretty good series as well. Gold grind, not something that Dagda wants to talk about, but Jose very, very far ahead. 3.6K. And yeah, it's basic. Okay, Sonic Wave from the darkness here, as Jose is very, very scary, but they think that they might have caught him here as the Ram comes on through. They're looking for Kalist. Quid's going to find him in that backline, but immediately gets exhausted, taken out, as Jose gets a kickback onto Yike, but it doesn't really do anything at all. Equalizer now going to come on through as Core JJ going down lower and lower. The double snap from Yon is good, but they are out of teammates. Triple knockup from Morgan. He flashes over the wall, and he is still going to die as TL. I don't think you're fighting for this, Soul.
It's just because the Ornn ultimate did not hit Kalist there. He didn't get the knockup for Quid, and I've cursed them! No!
You've taken that knife out and stabbed him in the back, and I'm okay with that. Because KC managing to find that little bit of fight with Kalist, even getting that good flash away from Quid there in the midst of us, setting up for it, and now there's a lot of gold that they can pick up on the map, so this gold lead starting to dwindle for Team Liquid now.
Yeah, and it was... I want to grab that. Only one plate left remaining here as Morgan possibly caught out. Does searingly charge his way out, but has to take the red carpet as Canna lays that one down. No flash available here for this on, and he has to try and turn and make something happen. It's just going to be an arcane shift forward. Canna's the one that locks down as well. Pretty dark as KC try to get themselves through, as that is going to be the dash cannon forward. Equalizer fantastic from Canna with limited vision, and now the Cataclysm comes in, but that encore only onto one. The kickback is there as Yike is going to be taken out first. Core JJ just barely surviving, and now he can actually get himself back towards his fight after a reset. The Dragon has now spawned, but I don't think it's going to be at the forefront of anyone's mind just yet with Yike going down.
Incredibly close attempt there from KC. They went for it because they saw Quid on the bottom wave, but they just barely can't finish the kill.
But now they have no jungler, so KC kind of have to hard force this, or it's sold for Team Liquid. They're trying to buy time, but how do you engage? You use so much to try and get Core JJ.
Yep, still 15 seconds on the Jarvan here as well. And KC, 4 versus 5, they know that they need to try and deny this as Morgan's moving in. Doesn't have the Ornhorn at the moment, but they realize they're just not going to be able to win, so they have to give up Infernal Soul to TL, and they move back into the driver's seat.
For KC, but that's not always going to be the case, especially as you start to teeter into these later levels.
Yeah, as now Yahoo could be in a little bit of trouble. But Morgan doesn't quite find the knockups. Yon going to get attacked by Yike. The equalizer goes down, and that is going to be enough to deal with this Mel. Yahoo goes golden, though, to keep him alive. But look at these health bars. This Infernal Soul is doing work as Jose is going to be able to follow Canna out of that one. He's still legendary, but he's not in the fight anymore. As now Quid dashing after Yike will be able to help Morgan grab that kill. And Busio and Kalist find themselves the last men standing.
There's no focus. That was a scramble. Everybody for themselves.
Never mind. Yahoo gets himself out somehow.
Everybody was fighting their own brawls on different sides of this one.
It was absolute bedlam. I thought Kalist was going to go down, but Jose Diodo went the opposite direction. Team Liquid, though, still with the bigger health bars, are going to get this mid lane turn and again get that little bit more off the back of
Soul lose. I believe it was TL. So far in MSI, so KC still some slingshotting himself towards the top side of the map. He's going to usher that minion wave over as well. It's now KC looking for a fight. There's another Cataclysm on to Yon, taking a lot of damage here. Does manage to go golden as Canna does exactly the same thing. Kalist gets turned on by Jose. There is the knock-up, and Quid is able to take him down. Yon's still alive somehow as Yike is going to get taken down to the GA, and he should be removed as well as Morgan. Gigantic health bar thanks to that new belt that he just
Ultimate through 2.
Yeah, and then it's just the follow-up from Team Liquid, right? The wall doesn't quite get the separation, so Morgan's able to clean fights. This hasn't been what we've seen this series at all.
Well, they're going in.
Quid getting a lot of value out of that wind wall here as they look to dive on top of the Yasuo. Gets 3 with the ult. He kills 1 with it. Holds up the other 2 as Yike is traded for the Lee Sin. Gets out of the way of the Encore, but great stopwatch there from Yahoo. He's still dead. He's still exceptionally dead. Turned into a fried egg in the mid lane, and Canna just has to turn tail and run. 30 seconds on the Elder, and most of KC are dead.
At the end of the day, it's Jose Deodo Lee Sin, man. 12-0 Lee Sin.
He's 18 out of 20 kill participation, and over 50% of the kills are his, and he's playing Lee Sin. It's 35 minutes into the game, and TL think that that is a good time to finish this one off. The inhibitor going to go down first. Jose is going to land onto Kalist and take most of his health bar. Oh man, this looks like I saw Spooks and Spawn. They were also having a pretty good time.
Get jumped on.
True. Okay, so Elder, the great equalizer, guys. Is this going to be
bush?
We'll see whether it is going to be a good equalizer. I don't think it is because Canna is already dead. TL looking for the turn. Yon is like, well, I'm just going to kill this dragon. If you guys are going to take down the enemy top laner, you've got this one 4v4 as Yon is going to, Core JJ dives forward. They take down Yahoo. The Ram is more of a celebration here from Lord Morgan as KC will just be escorted back to their base. And now TL, they have a big old buff to work with as they look to just march their way into this mid lane.
Jose Diodo is 2 kills away from the most kills ever in an MSI game, so he can get Kalist and Busio.
There's I see 3 kills right there.
4 junglers, I'm pretty sure, because I think that number might be higher if we include 80 carries in the equation. But now we've got these Nexus turrets under fire. Quid looking for an angle towards Yike as he is so close to execution threshold. Core JJ wanting to try and take them down as Jose is in that base just trying to get a few extra kills. And Yanni's got the rebuttal to make sure they can do nothing about this as TL moving to match point over KC here at the MSI play-ins.
Here, buddy. Olaf.
Should have played Lulu mid or something weird like that, you know, like just try and augment Janna mid. Let's go. As that is going to be the Kiana locked in for Yike. Damage coming out of the jungle, it's what we were kind of looking for in this one. Jogging going to move down, and the Scion is in the bottom lane. KC, man disadvantage for this particular objective, and I think that they are just going to back away and just let Canna create some control for themselves by taking this bottom lane out. Yon is going to lose a bunch of his health bar as Canna is just basically unaware of the turret's existence.
It felt like a very late swap from KC, though, because... Oh, hang on. Is Yike going to get caught here?
Well, Yike is moving down. There was a lot of good vision here from TL. So Core JJ making his way in. The flash on forward, flash out from Jan as well as Yike gets a supreme display of talent, but the ulti from Jan keeps him alive for a little longer, just not quite long enough as First Blood does go over to the Scion.
Ari roam from Quid.
Yeah, no flash available here for Kaza. No ulti as well, but he gets into the minion wave. I don't know whether it's going to be enough though as the charm still goes wide. Anchor is going to be there to lock him down, and it's TL that even out the kills.
Okay, little shutdown there for Quid on the compensation play. Mid lane does get pushed in the top.
Yeah, there is the dominance here from Morgan. Flashes forward, and now the Ragnarok is going to get popped from Jose. Kalist going to get taken down first. Busio nowhere to run as there is the true damage. And it's Morgan that locks up the kill in the end.
Yeah, they split it there. Morgan's like, all right, I'm going to take the second one.
Yep.
Holds off, and gets it.
Now with the push on mid lane, going to move over towards the Dragon. You have the TP for Morgan if they really want to, and Jose Diodo's in the pit.
Wait, he just walks over. It is going to be the secure on the Drake, though, as Jose down to 50%. There's the Ragnarok to get him out of the CC. And now Quid dashes over the wall. There's the Orbit Deception and the ulti to come through, the Dawning Shadow to keep them alive. Yike down so incredibly low, but TL, they have to worry about the brick wall that is this Scion. The Anchor is just going to go straight into Kaza as Jose sidesteps the Q. Headbutt pole from Busio as he tries to take matters into his own hands. The shield, incredible onto Jose, but he is going to be taken down first. And the unbreakable will of this Alistair keeps him alive. Core also going to be kept alive at the same time as Quid, now in the back of the pit, does have to flash away. And Yike is hunting escaping members of TL, but they will be able to make their way out.
What the hell are the fights in these series? They're so close. Yike being chased down by Jan, but should be able to just dash himself away. But oh my God, that was close.
I mean, Jose went in there. He has no flash. He's an Olaf in the pit.
Yeah.
You're like, okay, he's going to ult away. But then he's just walking back and forth, strafing in the back of the pit. Teleport, though. The play's not done quite yet.
Yeah, it's Morgan making his way in as the Ruthless Predator should be able to sink his fangs in. Sets up for the charm, and that is a very dead Scion. No options for Kaza. And Morgan is just going to deal with this zombie as well. So, that's TL. All right, as the dust settles, we're moving back towards the mid lane. We're going to call it a K-Ram because we are in Korea at the moment. We're in the river at this particular point in time as now the Anchor comes forward. Get double knock up there from Core JJ as they're looking for Kalist. He flashes out of the way, but it's not going to be able to escape Jose Diodo right now as the train just drives past the Viking. Yike getting the supreme display of talent, but it's now Busio dead in this split fight. It works out so beautifully for TL. KC kind of just fell apart.
I thought it was going to take a while for the Olaf to get back to the Varus, but the Varus was right there in front of Core JJ. Core JJ nails him with the hook, and they full combo Kalist. It's a beautiful setup. Jose is like, great, I'll just be able to...
He has really stepped up. The Nautilus in particular has been fantastic, and he may find Kalist once more here.
Yeah, Anchor going to connect onto Kaza. This is going to be their first target in this fight. There's not a lot of follow-up. In the meantime, though, there is an Ari lying on the floor. So Quid not able to do too much, and they're able to protect Kaza with a great Weaver's Wall. This might actually be able to get KC this sole point that they've been looking for. TL, they do not want to give this one up, but I mean, it's so difficult without their mid laner who doesn't have teleport as well. Busio goes in, gets the pulverizer, steal from Jose. Never mind, it wasn't. It was actually the Riftail taking down a turret, as now we've got a team fight as Morgan knocked up into the sky, but he's going to get on top of Kalist once again. Busio is dead, and TL, they are still going to win the ensuing fight as the Blast Cone pulls back Kaza. And he's able to unstoppably onslaught his way out of there. Well, it might work for him right now. As they are moving towards Kaza, the referee got something to say to this player. As kind of really wants to get rid of this turret, as Ari just going to dash in front to make sure that he's not able to ult away. And he moves away from the turret, not exactly opportune. It's going to take a while to kill him, but kill him they will. And TL now looking for an opportunity to take down this turret at the same time. They will be able to get it. 3 Grub's going to be helping out there. It's a zombie Scion, no help from the rest of his teammates. TL actually moving for a little bit more aggression in this mid lane.
Good block there from Busio. Kalista had the slow on him, so Jan was trying to thread the needle there and get the snare, but Busio just walks up and takes it, so nobody's going to die for KC there, and they'll still get their cross map of the tower.
This could be a problem, as the teleport in from Morgan will be able to augment this play.
Dragon here.
Yeah, just spawned. As Morgan spotted on vision. There's Supreme Display of Talent only on to Core JJ, but they are looking to burst him down. They find it as Yon also gets a snare into that backline, but there is the interruption on Morgan. Dawning Shadow, Yon doing so much work as they take 2 down already. No bottom lane left as Quid's dashing towards Yehu, who is just running for the hills. Morgan cares not for your turrets, KC. Although maybe he should, as he's taking a lot of damage. Does flash away, and Kana looking to flash after him, does not find the angle as Yehu not going to be able to defend back and take the dragon.
Okay, so KC, they do one-shot somebody, but it's only the Nautilus. And so Team Liquid then win in the scramble, and they're going to deny the Dragon Soul.
Yeah, Jan played that fight so well. The immediate flash away from the Supreme Display of Talent so he doesn't get caught, and then gets the route on towards Kalista as well. As, yeah, who wants to fight against Quid with the sidesteps, though?
Yeah, Busio does make his way forward. Kana's here as well. Quid, ladies and gentlemen, is dead. The threaded volley is going to be able to take him.
Yeah,
and
of course, on the top side, you have the escape. Now we're back to it.
Yep, more fighting as Yike going to get taken down a little bit lower, but that's going to be Core JJ in a bit of trouble. Depth Charge comes in. Dawning Shadow to try and keep his Nautilus alive as Quid gets into the backline. Supreme Display of Talent does so much work, and they manage to take down the Olaf, but still, Jan is fighting. Quid still alive. Busio taken out as Morgan brings his Renekton into the backline. The Mega Blast Cone going to try and get Canner out to relative safety, but the Charm connects, and TL, even without their Viking, are able to win the fight.
They're able to get the extra ones, and they can push the towers after this, too. They've got mid-wave and top-wave. They're keeping vision all points of entry over towards the Dragon, and KC don't even want to take a part of it.
Yep. Not going to be a thing, so that is going to be second Chemtech Dragon over to TL. Yike realizing that he has to stick around, try and go for a bit of a trade here as the wall comes down. Core JJ possibly caught out, flung back towards the team as he flashes away. Depth Charge comes through, Yike is dead versus Kana, stunned up, Core JJ still alive as they're dashing into the backline. Kalist is going to keep himself alive, but now good sidestep as he takes down Quid and keeps himself alive. Jose, next one to fall. Kana should be wiped off the rift by Morgan, but TL, an even trade is not what they were looking for around that Baron.
Yeah, I think they were separated again. There's certainly no ultimate is pretty hard to team fight.
Yeah, and they still have zero vision of this area. Yike not actually moving over. They do spot it with the scrying orb. But can KC actually go for this? There's the point-blank charm. Yike is wiped out by the Dawning Shadow. No smite, no chance of contesting the Baron here, as well as TL. Beautifully played.
TL set up wonderfully on that, managing to pick off Yike as he goes to the setup. As you say, there was no vision, no control at all around the pit, and TL knew it.
Now with the Baron buff, 4-1 split push, Ari on top side, and as Morgan walks in.
Yeah, he's just face-checking here, doesn't have the dominance available. Kolomik is going to be there as the rest of TL moving on forward. There's the unstoppable onslaught to get Kana out of there. That is now a big tool that he will not be able to use. The inner turret is going to be taken down towards the top side, and TL, this Rebel Baron power play already at 2,000 Elemental Dragons is going to be available here in this game. TL not going to be contested for this one. KC's base remains intact for now, but we are moving to some pretty dangerous gold levels.
We certainly are. And Morgan now has a 3-level full lead over Kana.
Oh, God. He's 5-0-7. This
your
is
favorite player, your favorite player on his favorite champion.
Oh, and he's having such a good game on it as well. Oh.
Busio?
Well, Morgan is just wondering who he's going to hit.
Where is Busio?
He is wandering towards Quid. Yike is going to be there as well. Busio is going to be in the Death Chamber as the Orb Deception comes on through. Doesn't care about the damage reduction from the ulti. So yes, to answer your question, gone.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, there's an anchor towards Kana as well, who is just going to get caught out of position, flashes out of the way, gets turned into a zombie as Morgan just wanders his way towards this inhibitor turret. And KC just kind of falling apart here as their base is doing exactly the same thing. Inhibitor going to go down towards the bottom side, and with the remnants of this Baron, TL, they should be able to get Nexus turrets for this as well.
Yike was still trying to flank. He was trying to flank this whole time as everyone was dying and the base is gone.
Well, the Nexus turrets are going to start falling down as look at that army of siege minions that are set up to take this last one away. Busio has respawned though, so maybe that is going to help them out on the defense, but now it's a naked Nexus, and now it's TL so close to another date with T1 as Morgan flashes in, they get on top of Yehu, they wipe him out, Busio back to the Death Chamber again, and Kalist, he's on the fountain, but his Nexus is going to explode another 3-0 as Team Liquid destroy.
Team Liquid, well deserved. I mean, the improvements that they've shown outstanding. I feel like their drafting has got a lot better, and you can definitely tell they're more comfortable on the stage.
Yeah, I mean, this one didn't even feel close. Jungle support outpacing across a huge amount of this series, and Morgan getting the better of Kana. That Renekton was terrifying in these fights.
He is pretty good at Renekton, as it turns out, but a bit of an uncharacteristic performance from KC. I felt like they were in a very similar position against T1 that TL was. I was expecting this to be a whole lot closer. But TL, I mean, if you want to have any sort of performance moving towards a matchup against T1, this is the performance you want to see. Let's throw it back to the boys on the desk.
Certainly is the performance you want to see, Atlas. Maybe not the performance I personally wanted to see, but North American fans definitely going to feel good about that one.
Let's bask in the glory.
Yeah,
Here, Ox.
You know what? You were just so convincing at the start of the show when you were talking about the star side. I got it. That really connected with me.
It's a classic Ares performance.
Yeah, I mean, he was talking about phases of the moon.
What was that guy talking about?
The moon's not in here. We can't see the moon. We're in an enclosed space.
And I will say, banter aside, hearts out to KC. Obviously, a pretty crushing way to leave the tournament.
Yep.
Was not their day. Did not have that level of performance. So, again, condolences. Don't want to take away, though, from the incredible performance we did see from Team Liquid today. I think as much as the banter was going back and forth, did you expect it to be that one-sided? Because I felt like it was always going to be close.
Dracos, it was written in the stars.
Okay. All right. Fine.
No,
I'll just say I always
no.
thought it was going to be a close series. That really blew me away how much more dominant Team Liquid were.
I will say, my real opinion was that coming into the tournament, I thought KC was going to be better than TL. But based on the actual tournament performance, Jose and Morgan have both been playing above where I expected. Morgan in particular, it's a crazy glow up from the regular season, and that is actually what made me believe that they would have an edge today over KC. I thought it was going to be a lot more competitive though, but Jose went crazy. I think KC's draft prep was horrible, and I think that was a big contribution to it as well. TL hard outdrafted them in my opinion, had a really bad series in some of these big moments. Kana had a horrible Vayne game. Like, KC just didn't show up.
I think as well, when you look at how TL prepared for the T1 series, felt like they came in there with some really smart drafts. That Poppy game, they did most of the work to win the game and then crumbled at the last moment, but that doesn't eliminate the fact they were in a winning position against T1, and you can see their game plans working really well against KC.
And in Game 3 as well, right? Like, those games were winnable, and I don't think that KC had that big player that was kind of stepping up in the way that, you know, the T1 players were from those deficits. If you get behind, you need someone to be the star, someone to kind of, you know, do that big play. I think Yike was trying his heart out in that last game, but
certainly.
We got to be honest, there was one jungler that was standing tall in this one. Jose had just been crazy across all 3 games. The Olaf pick, I think, was really, really smart. Made a lot of sense in the draft. It was very cohesive. The Lee Sin game was the biggest 1v9 of the tournament. One of the biggest 1v9s I've ever seen from a Lee Sin.
And I think the easiest Oppo player of the series we've ever had. No surprise to see Jose Diodo. The Lee Sin performance alone would have been enough, but really every single game he was making an impact.
He could have done basically nothing Game 3, and yet he didn't. He found ways to really make an impact on the Olaf, but the Lee Sin game was just clinical, and when I saw it, I was thinking back to that Peanut game at MSI, just styling on your opponent, picking up kills all over the map. And look, 22, 4, and 22 in the series.
Insane. And,
absolute monster.
I mean, absolute monster performance. And the craziest thing is, if you have not watched Jose in NA, it just feels like every Lee Sin game he plays looks like that. It's just insane. Like, this guy, when he gets any lead, is so intelligent about how he actually pushes his advantage. He plays in the face of his opponents. He constantly evades. He makes you fight him, or he makes you concede everything. And it really comes back to, like, his mindset. If you talk to him, he's so fun to talk to because, you know, when you go, Jose, like, how do you prepare for these series? Like, are you really feeling the pressure? And he's just like, League of Legends is a game, and I just try to have fun, and I just go out there, and I just remember, you know, we're just playing a game, and I do my best, and it's like, he is just such good vibes, and I think it kind of allows him to just play without stress.
And honestly, if he can do that on Lee Sin to NA teams, then of course he could do it to EU teams.
Ox, come on, you can't tell me on that.
Thanks, buddy.
And I will say,
This is the top-tier analysis why we bring him in.
seriously though, The real thing for me is most players who have this dominant domestic pick cannot transition it to an international stage. The fact that he did against an EU team that, again, after the first few series, we might have said, you know, it's a little bit more TL favored, but initially looked like they would be the favorites. And this one against a player like Yike, who does have a certain international pedigree, has gone the distance against LPL teams, etc. Like, this is some really impressive stuff from him. And now I kind of want to see if T1 let it through. I'm going to be honest. I really want to see what this looks like going up against someone like Owner. But of course, we are now just getting ready for our post-game interview. So, final thoughts, Hawks?
I'm excited for tomorrow and to see how they do in the rematch. I think they had good ideas the first time around, but couldn't get over the finish line. I think they can definitely take games. Series might be a tall task, but this was a great series, great performance for them today.
An impressive ramp up in such a short period of time, too, right? It's easy for a tournament as short as this one, right, where you have the potential to just play 2 series and get eliminated, not to see that growth. But I think we are seeing it from TL.
We really are, but we are going to be joining Jose on stage for the Verizon postgame interview. Let's go! Oh, never mind. We're not ready again.
We're not ready.
Okay.
Just building the suspense.
We're eager. The problem is,
we are eager.
We're like so ready to talk to Jose Diodo.
We are.
He was
always ready.
He's been our Oppo player of the series before that 3rd game. Now we're ready. Let's do it. Verizon postgame interview with Jose Diodo.
승리한 호세 디오도 선수 만나보겠습니다. Congratulations.
Thank you.
First question. 가장 먼저 LEC와 LCS. LCS와 LEC의 자존심이 걸린 승부에서 승리한 뒤 다음 라운드에 진출하신 소감. How does it feel to win in a match where the LCS and LEC's pride on the line and make it to the next round?
Feels great. I think, I don't know, I've never been in a rivalry of EU in NA because I'm from Latam, so it's kind of weird for me, but it's very fun. I think the nerves are high, and obviously fans are like flaming each other, so it's very fun. I think, yeah, the afterwards it feels nice because we 3 of them, so I'm sure the NA fans are happy now.
사실은 본인은 아무래도 라탐 출신이기 때문에 LCS와 LEC 이런 라이벌리에 대해서 크게 잘 느끼지 못했는데 정말 많은 팬들이 열광하고 또 서로 이렇게 벤터, 트래시 토크를 주고받는 그런 문화를 잘 알고 있었는데 이렇게 또 선수로서 플레이하면서 승리를 가져올 수 있게 되어서 너무 좋고요. 또 3대0 승리를 가져온 만큼 팬분들이 더 기뻐할 것 같다고 합니다. 한국에서 열린 2025 퍼스트 스탠드의 리매치이기도 했습니다. 작년에도 그리고 올해도 한 번 더 TL이 KC에게 패배를 안겨주었는데요. 오늘 경기를 앞두고 어떤 부분을 가장 중점적으로 대화 나눴는지 여쭤보겠습니다. It was also a rematch of 2025 First Stand, which also happened in Korea last year, and then again today. TL handed KC a loss. What kind of conversation did you guys have as a team about the matchup?
No, funny enough, we saw the series before coming here. I think we were thinking like, damn, what happened these games? You know, how you guys beat them, what you guys thought in the series. But it's like different players, so it kind of changes the vibe. But yeah, I mean, it's nice that we got a rematch. I think it's different because Omti was here last time, so now it's me playing. So maybe that's why we didn't lose 1 game. So yeah.
사실은 좀 재밌는 이야기인데 오늘 경기 전에 다 같이 그 경기를 돌려봤다고 합니다. 그때 경기를 같이 보면서 와 이때 어떻게 이겼니 이런 이야기를 나누었는데 사실은 라인업도 바뀌고 선수 구성이 바뀌어서 같은 경기나 같은 그런 접근은 아니지만 지켜보면서 굉장히 즐거웠고 작년에는 엄치 선수가 정글러로 있었는데 올해는 제가 있었기 때문에 1세트를 안 진 게 아닌가라는 생각도 들었다고 합니다. 이제 2세트 얘기를 안 해볼 수가 없는데요. 또 이렇게 세트 패 없이 승리하게 된 주역도 2세트의 리신이 아닐 수가 없습니다. 정말 신 그 자체였는데 올해 호세 디오도 선수의 리신은 LCS 시즌에서도 무패를 이어가고 있습니다. 오늘 본인의 리신 플레이는 10점 만점에 몇 점을 주고 싶으신지 여쭤보겠습니다. Now we have to talk about your game 2 Lee Sin, which was godlike, and your Lee is still undefeated in the LCS season as well. On a scale of 1 to 10, how would you like to rate it?
I don't know, I think today I didn't play like normally, maybe an 8 from what I used to see on my gameplay, because I think if that was a normal game, I would just like finish in 20 minutes, but I think the nerves were like, ooh, I'm excited because I'm so fast and I can 1v9, and then I ran it down a bit. So yeah, I was thinking maybe an 8, but I think overall when I have a good game, I can go to like 9 or 10 sometimes, but it depends sort of on the comp, because I like to take Lee Sin on certain spots, and I think today was really good, so yeah.
오늘은 좀 평범했던 것 같아서 한 8점 정도 주고 싶다고 하는데요. 오늘 보통같이 좋은 경기력이 나왔다면 사실은 리신으로 거의 뭐 1대9도 할 수 있고 너무 잘 컸기 때문에 한 20분대에서 경기를 끝낼 수도 있었을 텐데 사실은 리신이 너무 잘 큰 나머지 나 너무 센데 나 진짜 아무나 다 1대9 해도 이기겠는데 라는 생각에 조금 더 긴장을 해서 게임이 좀 빨리 끝나지 못한 부분은 아쉬워서 한 8점 정도 주고 싶다고 합니다. 정말 좋은 경기력이 나올 때는 9점, 10점 경기력도 나오기도 한다고 하는데 특히나 리신 같은 경우에는 본인이 선호하는 그런 조합 카운터가 있다고 합니다. 특정 조합이나 특정 조합 상대로 리신 굉장히 좋은 픽인 것 같다 해서 꺼내들게 되는데 오늘 경기도 그런 부분에 해당되었다고 합니다. 그리고 최근 설문조사에서 존경하는 선수로 인생님을 뽑아주셨는데요. 인생님의 어떤 점이 호세 디오도 선수의 마음을 사로잡았는지 여쭤보겠습니다. And in a recent kind of Q&A, you said the league pro you look up to is Insect. What about Insect captivated you?
Well, when I was younger, you know, League was a game that where mechanics were like super low. So when somebody did something like Insect, it was like really like exciting to watch. So back then, when I was like 14, I remember watching him playing Fiddlesticks in Worlds. I think it was in semifinals against, I don't remember the team. But I don't know, I realized he was playing Fiddlestick, but he also played Lee Sin, and I followed him throughout the tournament. And I really like his game style and how he played the games. And since I was younger, you know, every mechanic that I see was like crazy. So I don't know, I really love Insect when I was younger, and he really made me play Lee Sin throughout all my career. So yeah.
Was your Lee as good as he's Lee Sin today?